Keto and crime, keto and crime. We uncover the grime on keto and crime. Keto and crime, keto and crime. Now is the time for keto and crime.
Hey everyone, Tracy here from Keto and Crime. Thank you so much to every single one of my patrons and channel members. You make this possible. And you're one of the reasons I do this. And I thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if I haven't said it before, thank you. I'll sing it. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with me and letting me geek out, not making fun of me like a lot of other people do, because I like weird stuff about crime and dark history. Re, re. Thanks, everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Keto and Crime. Today I have another quick video reacting to Tess Holiday again, talking about anorexia diagnosis and recovery. I know we've done a video on her already. I'll link it right there. And I just wanted to hear what she has to say. She went on the Tamron Hall show and had quite a lengthy conversation about everything with Tamron. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I think we're just going to listen and react to it. I have not listened to this, so I have no idea what's going to be said. So, with that being said, let's dive into it.
First of all, I just want to thank you because I know that this is still ongoing for you. Since sharing your diagnosis with your fans, with the public, you have experienced a setback. What happened after you shared the news?
Well, I wasn't quite expecting it to blow up in the way that it did. I wasn't expecting everyone to talk about it around the world for weeks and months even. It basically caused me to stop taking care of myself in the way that
Tess, you're a 400 to 500 pound woman that has had huge success as a model, as an influencer, probably a millionaire, and you come out and say that you have anorexia, atypical or not, that's going to cause people to talk. And you said you stopped taking care of yourself. Girl, you haven't been taking care of yourself, or you wouldn't have eaten yourself to 400 to 500 pounds. I I just feel like the cognitive dissonance with this woman is so strong. Maybe she does have some of the elements of anorexia, such as distorted body view, body perception, where she sees herself as much thinner than she is. I mean, that is very possible. But you're not starving yourself, sweetie, at least not for calories. I mean, a lot of obese people, including myself, were malnourished to the fact of getting vitamins and minerals, but not calories. Anybody can look at you and say that you get more than
that I had been to stop. I stopped feeding myself properly. I kind of got really depressed. I just really regressed into behaviors that weren't healthy for me. And
eating an entire birthday cake or, birthday type cake on video and posting it, which she did do, look it up. It's not healthy for you. I understand that to get to this size, there's underlying issues. There's underlying issues with how I got to almost 400 pounds. When I started this latest weight loss journey, I was 360 pounds. It had a lot to do with depression, just giving up with COVID and everything. I just lost my way. It affected me. It affected my marriage. It affected everything. So I understand she has a lot of underlying issues. I'm not discounting the fact she probably was depressed, and I hope you're seeking treatment for that, Tess. But stop lying about why you're so large. No one's buying it.
It's even hard to talk about now. I wish that I just would have waited a little bit longer because I wasn't fully prepared. And I also didn't realize when I talked about it that we don't really discuss folks that are experiencing my type of eating disorder in larger bodies, because you look at fat bodies and you just all of a sudden say, well, you're healthy and all you do is sit around and eat. But for the world to say that all I'm doing is sitting around and eat when I'm starving was...
You're not starving, dear. You may be starving for nutrients, sure, because you're not eating the right kinds of food. You didn't get to 500 pounds eating copious amounts of fruits and vegetables. First of all, the volume is just, you couldn't. You didn't get that way by eating the proper foods. You got that way by eating entire cakes, whole rotisserie chickens, burgers. You just filmed a video not long ago where you were eating a Big Mac on camera for the first time. Girl, you're not starving. You're not starving, at least not for calories. And stop insulting people that are starving and wasting away from anorexia by trying to claim their disease. That's rude. That's wrong. And you're doing it for attention and attention only. And it's getting you the wrong kind of attention. But, you know, hey, in this day and age, attention is attention, I suppose.
Because anybody, any size can starve. And we...
Agreed. You can starve for nutrients, not for calories. At least not at your size.
To not care about folks in larger bodies.
Not true. Not true. The fact that that audience was applauding that just leads me to believe how strong the delusion is among certain parts of our social media, whatever. Just because you tell an overweight person they need to lose weight, hey, are you going to die? That is really caring about them. Feeding the delusion that you are justified in continuing down this path is what is dangerous. And nobody that is allowing you to shield yourself in this bubble and justify your own actions cares about you. They care about making the world safe for everyone. And I agree that it should be safe for everyone, but there is no reason why an airline, why a restaurant, why anybody should have to build seats triple size to accommodate people your size and my size because we can't get our act together and get ourselves to a healthy body weight. God, this makes me mad.
We don't belong, like we don't matter, and
you do matter. You matter enough to fix the problem. Get yourself right up here, and this will follow. This is all about mental health. Absolutely, we care. I care. I want to see you live a long, healthy life. Find a true psychologist that won't just pet and justify what you're doing, because in my last video, I talked about your nutritionist slash psychotherapist. She's a social justice warrior. She's not a therapist. So she's all about fat acceptance. Whatever. Get yourself a real medical professional and a nutritionist that will guide you in the way that you need to go to make yourself healthy, Tess. Because you are a nice person. You're a good person. And I want to see you live a long time, because we're going to read a headline in 5-10 years that you died. due to complications of morbid obesity, and I don't want to see that. I care about you, Tess.
Before even the reveal to your fans, we had you on the show celebrating Emmy, a landmark plus size model who was somebody who inspired you. I remember there you are, beautiful and smiling, seemingly happy.
Yeah.
What was going on behind the scenes before this reveal, before the diagnosis?
I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. And we'll continue on closer to the end of the video.
The more difficult days before the diagnosis, would you eating?
Yes, I would have coffee. I would sometimes eat in the evening. I would have bits of whatever was laying around. I'd grab like maybe a handful of nuts. And that's part of why I came on here, because I want.
You didn't get fat from a handful of nuts. Not eating for several hours a day, that's just being human. Humans were not designed to eat 3 meals a day unless you have a special medical condition that warrants it. We were designed to go for periods of time without food. So what you're experiencing is just life. And you don't have to clean out the entire refrigerator when you decide to eat. I intermittent fast now. Most days I go from like 7 or 8 at night until 1 or 2 p.m. the next day before I eat another bite, except for coffee. So yeah, I'm hungry when I decide to eat, but I know that I can't clean out the entire refrigerator when I do eat. I practice portion control. I'm eating healthier food, things like fruits, vegetables that do fill you up. Tess, bottom line, you didn't get to that size by eating healthily, and skipping a couple of meals did not put you in this. Overeating when you do eat is what put you in this predicament.
Forward since I've talked about this, saying I do that too, and I want people to hear me when I.
If we take this diagnosis of atypical anorexia and we put it out there as mainstream, do you know how many people are going to start identifying as having that? People that don't eat for a certain amount of times. Honestly, it's an insult to people that actually have anorexia. It's an insult to them. And it's just going to, pardon me, it's going to give more credence to this whole atmosphere that everyone has to be oppressed and everyone has to be sick and everyone has to be put upon. There are legitimate people out there that are discriminated against. People of color in a lot of cases, transgender people, people that actually have anorexia. Yes, overweight people in a lot of ways. The handicapped. There are people that are actually discriminated against in very real ways, but yet everybody wants to come under the whole I'm oppressed gallery. It's the reason that the L-Mom and I have to call the LGBTQ movement the premium pack, because it now consists of more letters than the damn alphabet, because everybody wants to be under that umbrella. And it's just like anything else. Eventually you got to cut some people from the team. Take some personal responsibility for your own health test and quit making excuses. You influence a lot of people in a lot of good ways, but you're also doing a lot of harm by allowing this behavior to continue. And Tamron, I wish you would call her on some of it.
To restrict and to be smaller.
It's called being a busy person. Comment below if you regularly skip a meal or 2 meals or go 10, 12 hours without eating just because of life and not being hungry. Because according to Tess, you're now atypical anorexic.
Okay, because
fasting has a lot of benefits. It does, but it's not for everyone. You know what? I'm done with this. This is her attitude. There's nothing I can say that would ever, even if I was sitting across from her, I don't think I could get through her head how dangerous her attitude is. And that's the reason that I like to bring you a few of these reaction videos occasionally, just to show you the madness that's out there and try to put a more positive spin on why you should be controlling your own weight and not be overweight and not be underweight either, if you can help it. Because there's people out there that have legitimate metabolism problems that struggle with it. But then you have people like this that could easily control it and just don't, and then put a label of an illness on it and appropriate from people that are actually sick with eating disorders. She has an eating disorder. It's called binge eating and compulsive overeating. I guarantee it. Absolutely. And she needs to seek treatment for that. But with that being said, I'll be back soon with another true crime or dark history video. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, Keto Krime.